What's going on YouTube? It's Vinny here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to diagnose and repair engine code P000A, B, C, and D on a 2018 Subaru Crosstrek. What you're most likely going to need for this job is a code scanner to read the codes, a little pry tool for some clips, Phillips head screwdriver, and either a short or a long 10mm socket, and then I just have a rag and a flashlight. Link will be in the description for all of this stuff. First things first, we're going to take the code scanner and scan our codes. All right, we just scanned the codes and we have a P000A, which is a camshaft position slow response bank 1. All right, so P000A, B, C, and D are actually pretty common issues with the Subarus right now. What they are is an oil control valve that gets stuck or it starts to stick, and there's a few different versions of this. I'm gonna show you guys the most updated version that I found after doing some research, but just to quickly show you where these are located, you have 4 oil control valves. There's 2 for the intake side and 2 for the exhaust side. If you have P000A, that's going to be the top one on the left side, or the passenger side of the engine. B is directly under that, and then C is on the driver's side top of the engine, and D is down at the bottom right under that. So it's A, B, C, and D. So this is a 4-cylinder Subaru Boxer engine, and what we have is on the top is the intake, and then on the bottom is the exhaust. So A is an intake side, and so is C, and then you have B on the bottom and D on the bottom for the exhaust. And basically, after doing some research, the oil control valve goes bad, and so we're going to replace this with an updated one. I'm going to show you guys the part numbers of that. All right, here's the replacement parts for the oil control valve. I'll put all the links in the description as well as the part numbers right on the screen. Here we have the oil control valve itself. It's labeled valve AY oil control, and then you're also going to need this O-ring and also this plastic spacer. Some of the symptoms you'll get when one of these codes pops up is like engine hesitation, engine sputtering, and you'll get like a check engine light, a TCS light, like all the lights will come up on the dash, and it'll look like it's like something super really bad until you scan it, and then you'll see it's a P000A, B, C, or D, which again, like I said, is a common issue on the Subarus right now. They just have a little bit of a problem with the oil control valve and the way it was designed. So there's multiple versions of this. What you're going to want to do is get the most updated version, which is what I'm going to be showing you today. You're going to want to replace that, and then everything should be good. So we're going to get into it now. First thing you're going to want to do for the P000A is we're going to remove this intake piece right here to get down to the actual oil control valve. Remove these 2 clips here. You should be able to pull up this intake piece. All right, now with that intake piece removed, you're going to be able to see 2 oil control valves right here. So the first one is right there. That's your P000A, and then B is directly under it, right down there. Here's just a close-up side view. So this one right up here is A, right below it down there is B. What you're going to have to do to remove this is there's just 2 10mm bolts and 1 plug that we're going to have to unplug from that. All right, what I've done first is I just laid a rag under the oil control valve itself, because when you pull this off, there's just going to be a little bit of oil that drips, and you don't want to spill that everywhere. So next, you're going to unplug the clip that's attached to the oil control valve. So remove that clip, and then you're going to have 2 10mm bolts. One's right there, and one is right down there. Okay, next I'm going to get your clip tool behind where one of those screws went in, and you pry it outwards. There you go. Oh, there it is. And then also make sure you pull that O-ring out. That's the old O-ring. So this is your oil control valve, and what happens is there's this pin in the center right here, if you guys can see that. And you'll see that this one's not staying out, but it's supposed to stay out, and it pulsates in and out, and it's supposed to pop back out, and that's what puts a little bit of oil out there for the cam. So these go bad, and it's a known thing, and so we're gonna get our new one. So you get your new oil control valve, and you're gonna see that there's this plastic spacer ring. That's gonna go on first, and then a nice O-ring, fresh O-ring over top. Now before we install this, you just want to get a tiny bit of oil and lube up the O-ring, and then we'll press it back in, put our bolts in, and put the plug in, and then we're pretty much done. Just to show you guys, see how that pops back out. So the problem with the old one is that you'll push it in and it'll get stuck in, and so it'll be slow to respond to what the rest of the car is doing, and basically it throws that code. If you use the wrong viscosity oil, that could also cause these oil control valves to stick, which would throw those codes. So just something to keep in mind, that when the manufacturer tells you what type of engine oil to use in your car, it's usually for this kind of a reason. It'll affect the parts that they made original with the vehicle. Okay, we're gonna take our new oil control valve and go ahead and install this. Get a little bit of oil from there to put on the new O-ring. And then you're just gonna line the holes up and push it in. You'll hear it click on there. Then you just have to put your 10mm bolts back in. Great. We're gonna reinstall the 10mm bolts. Just snug those up. Okay, and then once those are snugged up, you can take your connector and plug that back in. You'll hear the click, so you know you're on, and that's pretty much it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and reinstall this air intake piece. You're gonna see this part that sticks out. You just wanna slot that in the air intake first, like that, and then everything should fit right back in where it was. Put your clips in. Now let's go ahead, clear the codes, and start the engine up. Okay, all the codes are gone, all the lights are off, and everything sounds and feels like it's running smoothly. All right guys, so that's how you'll diagnose and repair engine codes P000A, B, C, and D on a 2018 Subaru Crosstrek. I do just want to mention this will apply to many other Subaru models. If you type in your make and model and search it on Google, you'll see that this is a very common issue between a lot of Subarus and their oil control valves. Hope this video helped you guys. If it did, please leave me a like. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. And if you guys want to see more of this content, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.